If any of these three signs actually apply to you, if you're actually experiencing any of these three signs, that might be a pointer that God has actually called you to steward great amount of wealth. That might be a sign that you would be very wealthy in your lifetime. Hi guys, you're welcome again to my YouTube channel. My name is Joy Essay. This is where I teach women how to be able to magnetize wealth without going through the toxic hustle. I teach women how to use their feminine power to get what they want, how to build business God way, and also how to be able to live life as a full and wholesome woman. If you're new here, please do have to hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell so that you don't miss any one of my videos. Now, today's video, I will just call right into the chase. What are the three signs that if you're currently experiencing any of these three signs, that might be a sign that God has called you to steward great amount of wealth? The first sign that God has actually called you to wealth is that you are drawn to impact, not just income. So you're not the type of person that just want to just get by and pay the bills and just make money and just survive. That's not what you are. You have a deep vision that you want to impact lives. When I mean impact life, I don't just mean giving to people randomly. You have vision of funding nations, maybe things like empowering women, funding gospel, sending people on missionary trip fully funded, establishing institution, building estates, not just having a mortgage house. You have a great vision, so you are drawn to impact. So it's not just enough to just say I want to make money just so that I can be able to pay my bills, pay my mortgage, be comfortable, travel the world, live life of my dreams. You have a deep yearning inside to see a greater impact. There is a vision that God has placed in your heart that needs mass amount of wealth. The truth is this: money always follows vision, and so most times when the vision in your heart is large enough, most times the resources that is needed will be channeled towards you. If you are the type of person that you are driven by impact, not just making income just to pay the bills and survive, there is a higher chance that God has called you to steward great amount of wealth and you will be very wealthy. Yes, that's very true, because most times those promptings in your spirit is not just put there because you love to do it. Sometimes it's the Holy Spirit that it placed those things inside of you to let you know that what you carry is heavy and what you carry is weighty. The number two sign that you are called to steward great amount of wealth is a very controversial one, and that is the fact that you are going to experience financial limitation, financial test, and resistance. Yes, this is the one people do not like to talk about. If you are called to carry kingdom wealth, get ready for closed heavens. I know people always say, yes, I'm called for kingdom wealth, I'm called to do this, and yet they feel like everything should go smoothly. No, you're going to go through a test. I hate to say it to you, but it's the truth. You're going to go through a test of stewardship. How well are you able to steward the little that God is giving to you? This can come in different forms, because there are times when everything will be tight. One of the ways I knew that I was called into this was the fact that there were times when nothing was working. There was no money, there was no food. I went to bed on empty stomach. Countless number of times I was even begging for money to feed. And that's one of the ways that you know that this can be a sign that God is calling you to steward great amount of wealth. When you have nothing, what are you doing? Are you generous with it? Can you give? Can you bless those? Because the truth is, one thing God will do is we strip you off your attachment to money. So if you are so attached to money, God will strip you off, so that even when the wealth comes, it won't be like a god to you, right? It won't be like something that would be like a god to you that controls you. Money is a tool. It's a tool to do what the vision and whatever it is God has placed in your heart. You're going to go through a series of financial tests, and one of the reasons is there's also something called financial warfare. Don't be surprised, you're going to have all sort of attacks on your finances. Yes, I hate to say this, but most times if you're having series of attacks on your finances, now there are times when you are just careless. I don't want to dispute the fact that sometimes we can just be lazy and careless, but there are times when despite doing everything, the enemy keeps attacking your finances over and over again. That could be a sign that you have a call to steward great amount of wealth that would transform lives. this has happened to me. I'm a living witness. I'm not just talking theory. I've been in debt of over 6 figures in US dollars. I've been where there was no money to eat, there was nothing coming in. I've been where I was homeless. So it's not, I'm not just talking theory. I know exactly what I'm saying. One of the signs that God has called you to wealth and you will be wealthy is that you might go through series of financial limitation, and during that time what you do really matters a lot. What you do really matters a lot. I've worked with ladies whereby a lady that she invested in coaching, she didn't have much, but she believed, if in during that period of time you believe strongly that, I know that was one thing that that happened to me, right? Even when there was nothing, there was this thing in me that I was just saying, I'm a woman of wealth, I'm called to wealth. Even when things were not working, I was always speaking and confessing. Even when my business was down, there were no customers, there was nothing, there was no sales, there was nothing was absolutely working, but I was thanking God. I said, God, I thank you for the $1 million client, I thank you for the $1 million sales, I thank you for the $1 million month. I was speaking. And so what you do during that period matters a lot, because the enemy will try to silence your voice. Now the third sign that you are actually called to steward great amount of wealth is you cannot escape the vision of abundance. This is what I mean by that. Now, there's some of times that my business have been down, right? But I keep seeing myself owning industries. I see myself being in charge, impacting lives. I see myself, the Destined Woman movement, building schools, paying the debt of women, building homes for women. And it's not something that you are doing because you love to do it. It's a vision that comes even when you don't even want it to come. Yes, you keep seeing abundance, you keep seeing wealth, even when your bank account is showing minus, even when your bank account is showing negative, you keep seeing that wealth that surrounds you. That's a sign that God has called you to wealth. Maybe during your time of testing, like we said in the second point, you are going through a series of things that you cannot be able to explain in your finances, but still there is just that inner conviction that I will carry well. I know I am wealthy. Your current condition might not look like it. You might not even have a place to stay, but your vision is as clear. You know your name. That's a huge sign that God has called you to be wealthy, and a huge sign that you're going to be wealthy as well too. Usually when you're at this point where you keep seeing vision of abundance surrounding you, most times you get very uncomfortable with just the status quo. Yes, I'm this kind of person. I used to get so uncomfortable with the status quo. I used to challenge things. I used to, can't there be a better way? If you're that type of person where no matter what it is, you keep seeing vision of abundance, you keep seeing yourself impacting life, and so where you are, your body start itching you. I can't be here, there has to be more. If you're the kind of person that you are always restless, where you are just settling for just enough, where you're only, it's not greed, it's not selfishness, it's just God that placed that thing inside of you so that you keep on moving. If you're experiencing all of these signs that I mentioned and you are not doing something about it, you might not see the physical manifestation, but if you can know what exactly has God called you to be inside of my mentorship, and those ladies that come to my VIP days, I say, okay, this is who God has called you to be. How can we move in alignment with that energy? There will be obstacles, there will be roadblocks, absolutely, 100%. But your ability to get past it is what makes you stand out from the average person. Don't be afraid to invest in yourself. Don't be afraid to do something every day to get better. If God has called you to steward great amount of wealth, and you have that feeling that I'm going to be wealthy, it's not just enough to just say it and wishful thinking. It won't happen if you just sit back there. Go ahead and do something today. I hope you guys got something from today's video. Let me know in the comment section, and I will see you guys in my next video.